Thank you. So for my thesis research, I will be looking at cradleboards and trying to determine how they were used to instill and shape identity among the Blackfoot people. So one of the reasons that I latched onto this idea of using cradleboards is because, as my colleague has already alluded to, women, and especially children, are largely ignored throughout history. And I felt that cradleboards were the perfect cultural material item to address this because they encompass both realms. They are made by women and they are used by children, all children within society, whether they are male or female. So these items actually help to socialize these children into functioning members of society. One of the ways that is done is, if you see these children here are bound into the cradleboard. And what that is doing is it's kind of instilling this idea of being able to sit still for long periods of time, which would have been an attribute needed if one was going to be entering into ceremonial life. Also, with some of the preliminary ethnography work I've done with some Blackfoot elders, they mentioned that being able to sit very still and quiet for a long period of time when an enemy was nearby was actually dependent on life or death. As these children age, young girls have dolls, and they would usually make toy cradleboards for them. And so that was a way of socializing these young girls to be mothers, so that by the time they were old enough and started having their own children, they already knew how to construct these items for them. There are many facets of cradleboards that I could study, but for my master's, I've decided just to distill it down to the designs that are placed on them. So whether these designs are quill work or beadwork, that would be a symbol of identity. Because among the Blackfoot, for a woman to actually do quill work, it had to have been something that was transferred down to her. Also, once we start seeing beadwork, that's more when we start having more European contact. Also, I'll be looking at what type of designs are displayed. So there's floral versus geometric. So some of the elders have been saying that floral designs were used by us before contact. And once we started having European contact, there was more of a shift to a geometric emphasis. So with my research, I will be accessing some cradleboards within museum collections. I will also be looking at archival photographs to try and get a sense of the social context that they were used in. And I will also be doing some work with the elders in the community. And one of my favorite quotes that I have recently heard from a Cree scholar was, "Knowledge does not become wisdom until it's shared." And so my research will eventually be shared with the community of the Blackfoot. Thank you.